So let's start. So module number 7 is about the principal roots in irrational number. So principal can be found in our school, right? But in mathematics, when you say principal roots, it is the source of that number. And irrational number is something that we could not divide in a perfect form. So let's have an example for that. So by the way, our set of objectives this morning are as follows. We are going to define what is a principal root, describe the principal roots, and tell us whether they are rational or irrational. We have to determine between what two integers that the square root of a number lies or lie. So can you look at this example? The figure shows 1, 1. The green one is 1. 2, 2. What do you think is that number? And what do you think are this, or this number are? What do you think are this? Ano po tawag natin dyan? What do you call this figure? Kindly type on the chat box. Ano po yan? Ano po tawag natin dyan? Yung figure na yan. I'll give you an example. The pink is 5. The blue is 10. Look at the green, 5 and 10. That is 50. Ano po tawag dyan? Alam ko, alam niyo yan. That is the multiplication table. That's correct, Matthew and Carl. So we call that one as the multiplication table. So this has something, a relevant information about this. So can you look at the green boxes? We have 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, 121, and 144. So for 25, it became 25 because you multiply 5 by 5. For 36, it became 36 because of multiplying 6 and 6. For 49, it became 49 because you multiplied 7 and 7. Now, napapansin nyo ba? Pag ang number you multiply sa kanyang sarili, ang sagot nasa green. Tama? Like example, 10 times 10. Ang 10, you multiply sa kanyang sarili na 10. The answer is 100 and it's still on the green line. So tawag po ng mga numbers dito na nasa green line are perfect squares. If I am going to write this down on the chat box, that is perfect squares. Perfect square po ang tawag sa green colored na numbers na yan. So 1, 4, 9, 16, and so on and so forth. So the principal root, it is a number which produces a specific quantity when multiplied by itself. So nag-multiply tayo kanina ng kanyang number sa kanyang sarili. For example, 10 and 10. 10 times 10. Tawag po doon principal root. It is positive nth root of a number. Tapos, ang perfect square naman, yung sagot. So 10 times 10 is 100, di ba? Yung 100, tawag po doon is perfect square. So perfect square is the square of a rational number. So for example, square root of 100, that is 10. Yung perfect square doon, yung 10. Yung principal root doon, yung 100. Nakuha? Next, rational number. When you say rational number, it can be expressed in the form A over B. A over B. A over B. Ano po iyan in short? Is it a fraction? Yes or no? A over B. Is it a fraction? Or division?
Fraction, sir.
Fraction daw po. Tama. A over B is a fraction. So, where A and B are integers and B is not equal to 0. Yan po yung rational number. I'll give you an example. So we have A over B. Makita ba ninyo?
Opo.
Oh,
Opo.
12 over 17. Is this a rational number? Sabi po sa definition, A over B daw siya or fraction. Is this a rational number? Yes or no? Type on the chat box. Sabi po ni Arola, yes. Same with Carl. Fraction daw yan. Chester, Matthew. The same, yes. Dim. Ano po yung pagbasa? Deme or dim? Maria, yes din po. So the answer here is 12 over 17. This is a fraction. So this is a rational number. And all fractions are rational numbers. Now, what about this example? 3. Is this a rational number? Yes or no? Type on the chat box. No, sabi ni Matthew. Ano po yung B? Bye. Chester, bye. Chester, no. Carl, no. Arola, no. Jan, no. So, is this? The answer is yes. Bakit? Bakit yes? Bakit siya fraction? Paano siya naging fraction? Meron po siyang invisible 1. That is the invisible over 1. So, this is also a rational number. Nabiktima kayo, no? Hindi nyo nakita yung invisible, no? Kaya gani invisible 1, hindi nyo nakita. So, that is also a rational number. So, what about naman antong irrational? So, lahat po ng rational number, yung mga whole number like 13, 14, 15, 16, may over 1 po yan siya, rational po yan. Next, irrational number. This is a number whose decimal representation is neither terminating nor repeating. This number cannot be expressed as a quotient of integers. So, irrational number, these are numbers that cannot be expressed into fraction. Ano po yung cannot be expressed into fraction? Ito po yun siya yung mga numbers. Para a while ha. So, irrational numbers, these are numbers that cannot be expressed into fractions or quotient of integers. So, ano po yan siya? Meron bang number na ganyan? Example, ganito po. 1.17, 21, 34, 64, 54, 13, 18, 28. Yung decimal po, walang katapusan. At saka hindi pa ulit-ulit. Ano po yung hindi pa ulit-ulit? Yung pa ulit-ulit lang nasabi ko ganito. 1.777777777. Yan po yung paulit-ulit. So, lahat po ng decimal na hindi pa ulit-ulit na walang katapusan, irrational number po yan or irrational number. Example, yung pi, 3.14, 15, 16, 21, and so on and so forth. Di yun siya paulit-ulit. Irrational number po yun siya. So, let's have a more definite example for that. Let's analyze this one. SQRT, to read that one, square root. Again, SQRT, to read that one, square root of 36 is equal to positive negative 6. Again, number 1, square root of 36 is equal to positive negative 6. So, isusulat po natin yan siya dito sa paper natin for a while. So, we have square root of 36 is equal to. Now, kindly look at the table in multiplication. So, this one. Tingnan nyo, yung 36. Yung 36 po. Ano po yung i-multiply na number para makuha si 36? Kindly type on the chat box. Sabi po ni John, 6, tama. 6 times 6, Matthew, Carl, correct. Sabi po, 6 times 6 is 36. So, yung 36, yun na yung magiging answer natin dito sa ating square root of 36. Ito po yung square root. This is the square root. Hindi po yan divide ha, that is square root. So, square root of 36, that is 6. Paano po nakuha ang 6? So, ibig sabihin po niyan, perfect square daw po si 6. Lagyan po natin siya ng positive, negative 6. That is now our answer. Now, tanong, is this a rational number? Yes or no? Rational or irrational? Type on the chat box. Is it rational or irrational? Rational or irrational? Ano yan siya? Rational or irrational? Ang rational po, number na fraction. Or kung hindi fraction, mayroon siyang invisible over 1. Sabi po ni Ayan, that is rational. Same with Angel and Carl. No, Carl is irrational. Matthew is irrational. So, tamang sagot po dito is rational number. This is an example of rational number. Okay. This is what you call the root or the principal root. And 6 is also a, not 6. 36 is also a perfect square. Si 36 po is a perfect square. So, yung 6 po natin yung principal root. And this is what you call the radical sign. Ito po. Itong symbol, tawag niyan radical sign. Itong 6 is the principal root. Itong 36 is a perfect square. Perfect square po ang tawag dyan. So, pag sinabi mo pong root, you are trying to say answer. Answer in the radical sign or in a radical solution. Kapag kinunan po natin siya ng radical or inilagyan po natin siya ng radical sign, ang tawag po sa sagot is root. Yun siya. And the roots are always 2. Positive, negative. Meron siyang positive number, meron siyang negative number. Ganun po. What about this one? Square root of 64. What is the answer? Positive, negative what? I-type sa chat box. $64. Ano yung i-multiply natin para ang sagot niya 64? Jan, do not forget the symbol. Plus, minus. Carl, the same. Dim, the same. Plus, minus. Dapat may plus, minus. Plus, minus. Yan po. Lagyan po ng plus, minus. Always siya may plus, minus. Plus, minus. So, the answer is plus, minus 8. Positive, negative 8. Ganun po. So, is this rational? Kapag sinabi pong rational, buo siya. Pag irrational, meron siyang mga decimal. Is this rational? Yes or no? You write the word rational. This is rational number. Very good, Carl. Next, what about an example of irrational? Tingnan natin. Ito tayo. Square root of, for a while. Square root of 2. We are now number 3. Square root of 2. So, square root of 2. Now, kindly, ano po yung number na i-multiply natin na magkapareho na ang sagot is 2? Kung tingnan nyo sa ating, kapag ganito po, lagi nyo agad balikan yung multiplication table. So, balikan yung multiplication table. Balikan nyo agad yung multiplication. Yung green, tingnan nyo, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. Meron bang 2? Di ba wala? Kung wala po listahan, ibig sabihin, irrational po siya. Tulad nung example number 3. So, this is an example of irrational number. Pero, paano natin kukunin yung number dito? This is an irrational. Ang tanong ko, paano natin kukunin yung number dito? Anong ilalagay natin? So, ang ilalagay natin ganito. You get your calculator or your cell phone. Sa cellphone po ninyo, meron pong calculator, di ba? So, ito yung calculator. Okay, yan po yung calculator. Now, meron bang square root dyan sa calculator ko? Wala. Wala pong square root dyan. Ganito po para makuha ang square root. Punta po kayo dito. Pindutin niyo po yung landscape or yung rotation. Tapos niyo pag-rotate, iganyan yung cellphone niyo, pahiga. Okay, pag napahiga na, punta na kayo sa calculator. Andyan na yung square root. Yan po. Ang symbol po ng square root, ko lang makita dyan. Yan po yung 2 tapos square root x. Ganito po ang symbol niya. Maliit na 2 tapos square root x. Ganyan po ang symbol. Kung wala pong ganyan, meron sa ibang calculator, ganyan lang. Okay na po yun. The same lang yan po sila. So, square root of 2. Try natin solve ang square root of 2. The answer is 1.41, 42, 13, 56, 23, 73, 095. Meron pa po yung kadulo. Meron pa po yung dugtong. Hindi po yung natapos. So, kapag ganyan po na case, 1.41, 42, 13, meron bang paulit-ulit dyan? For example, 1.44444444. Wala namang paulit-ulit, di ba? In that case, hindi po siya repeating. So, that is now an example of irrational number. So, isusulat niyo lang 1 point, yung dalawang number, 41, tapos tatlong tuldok. And isusulat nyo irrational number. So that is an example of irrational number. Kanina po, ito po, square root of 64. Ang sagot 8. Wala pong decimal. Buo po siya. That is rational. 6, that is rational. Pero merong positive, negative. Merong positive, negative. Pagdating dito, 1.41. Ilalagay ang positive, negative. Now, irrational siya dahil putol-putol po siya. Ay, putol-putol rather. May decimal siya, 4, 1, 4, 2, 13, 56, 23, 73, 095, and so on and so forth. So, irrational number po siya. Next, another example. Number 4, we have square root of 50. Square root of 50. Sige daw, kayo daw sumagot. Square root of 50. What is the number? Using your calculator in your phone. Kung wala sa phone, sa laptop, meron yan sa Google. I-type nyo lang square root of 50. Maglabas din siya. 7.07. Tama ba? Bebe. Let me try. Square root of 50. Tama. 0.071. Tuldok. Sabi po ni Kimberly, that's correct. Sabi po ni Fatima, that is also correct. 0.071. Pwede pong tatlong isulat, pwede pong dalaw, and so on and so forth. Now, tanong ko, is this rational or irrational? You type your answer in the chat box. Is it rational or irrational? Irrational. Very good, Kimberly. Very good, Ayan. Very good, John. Very good, Matthew. This is an irrational number. Okay. Now, what if nasa bundok kayo? Wala kayong cellphone, wala kayong laptop, tapos merong diwata, nagpa-solve sa inyo ng math, tinanong kayo. Is a rational number. Wala kayong gamit na calculator, wala kayong gamit na cellphone, wala kayong laptop, wala talaga kayong dala gadgets, utok nyo lang dala nyo. Sabi po ng diwata, isolve mo yan. Is that an irrational number? Irrational or rational? Dito po ang sekreto. Kapag wala po siya doon sa multiplication table, yung color green kanina, dito po, pag wala po siya dyan, yung 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, wala man pong 13 dyan. So, ang sagot nyo agad, irrational. Irrational number. Pero pag andyan naman siya, for example, 9, square root of 9, kahit hindi nyo na siya isolve, uy, andyan man yun, 3 times 3 yun. That is 9. Isulat nyo agad, rational number. Ganun po. So, paano ngayon i-identify ito? Square root of 13. Sulat nyo lang square root of 13 kung hindi naman hinihingi ang decimal. Ganun po. Sulat nyo lang square root of 13 kung hindi naman hinihingi ang decimal. So, square root of 9, that is plus minus 3. I do not forget pala plus minus square root of 13. Then plus minus 3. Ganun lang po. So, what about this one? Square root of 24. Rational, irrational. So, plus minus square root of 24. Wala man siyang sagot. Ay, wala man siyang sa multiplication table. Isulat nyo lang irrational. Next, square root of 19. Wala din siya sa multiplication table. Isulat nyo lang plus minus square root of 19. Irrational. Pwede pong ganyan. Kung hindi naman hinihingi yung decimal. Next. Sample number 5. Square root of 81. Square root of 81. What do you think is the answer for square root of 81?
9, sir.
9. Of course, 9. But do not forget the plus minus 9. Ibig sabihin ng plus minus 9, meron siyang positive, meron din siyang negative na number. And that is a rational number. Next. Square root of 75. What do you think? Rational, irrational? Just type that.
Irrational.
Yes, that is irrational. So, plus minus square root of 75. Ganun lang po. Okay, let's proceed with the next lesson, which is about... Ay, wala pa pala. So, ito yung ginawa natin kanina. So, notice that some principal roots are whole numbers while some are decimal numbers. This means that when the principal root is a whole number or fraction, then the principal root is described as irrational. Kapag daw yung sagot, tulad nitong 9 is a fraction, kapag daw yung sagot tulad nitong 9 is a fraction ba ito? Meron siyang invisible 1, right? Merong invisible 1. So, that is rational. Pero daw, pag hindi siya, tulad nito, square root of 19, wala talaga siyang makita sa multiplication table. So, that is irrational. Okay, next. When the principal root is a non-terminating or non-repeating decimal number, then the principal root is described as irrational. Tulad ng example kanina, yung maraming decimal with the using of calculator. Okay, next. So, look at this one. We have 1, 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 4 is 16. 5 times 5 is 25. And so on and so forth. Lahat po ng product dyan are perfect square. Yung 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100. Tawag po dyan perfect square. Again, perfect square po tawag dyan. Tapos yung 1, for example, ito. Makita niyo yung mouse ko. Itong 1 dito, yan po yung root. Itong 2, root. 3, that is a root. 4, that is a root. 5, that is a root. Itong 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, root po tawag niyan. Pero itong 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, tawag po sa kanya is perfect square. So square root of 1. Yung 1 kanina, square root daw natin. Ano ang sagot? 1 din po. Square root of 4. Anong sagot? That is 2. Square root of 9. Ano pong sagot?
3.
3. Square root of 16.
4.
Square root of 25. 5. That's square root of 36. 6. 36. Kaya ang sagot, 6. 49, 7 times 7 is 49. So 7 ang sagot. Ang 64?
8.
8 po. 8 times 8 is 64. 9 times 9 is 81. Ganun po. Okay, next. Lesson number 2. we're going to determine between what two consecutive integers the square root of a number lies or lie. So, tulad ng square root of 12. Saan ba daw siya nakalagay? So, unang-una yung gagawin, square root of 12. So, square root of 12. So, una-una yung gagawin, isusunod nyo si 12. Ano po yung mga numbers above kay 12? We have 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So, pwede naman mag-stop dyan. Pwede na mag-stop pag meron kayong nakita na number na nasa multiplication table or perfect square. Meron na bang perfect square dito sa linya na nagawa ko? Ano po yun kung meron?
16.
Yes, 16, bilugan. Next, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Meron na bang perfect square?
10, sir.
9.
Opo.
9. So therefore, ang sagot dyan sa 12, saan ba daw nakalagay si square root of 12? Therefore, lagyan nyo ng therefore, yung tatlong tuldok na pa-triangle, therefore yan siya. Therefore, square root of 12 is between square root of 9, which is equal to plus minus 3, and square root of 16, which is equal to plus minus 4. And that is now the answer. Again, therefore, square root of 12, ito yun siya, is between square root of 9, yan po. Square root ng 9 is plus minus 3, tama? And square root of 16, yan po, which is plus minus 4. Yan po ang sagot. Okay, clear? Okay, let's have another example. So, we have square root of 18. Square root of 18. So, sulat ang 18. 19, 20, 21, 22. Meron na ba? Meron na bang perfect square? Wala pa po. 22, 23, 24, 25. Meron na ba?
Opo, meron.
Ano na? Ano yung number?
25.
5. Bilugan. Next, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Meron na ba? Yes, meron na po, and that is 16. So, ito na yung sagot. Focus na tayo dyan. Therefore, square root of 18 is between square root of 16, which is equal to positive negative 4, and square root of 25, which is equal to positive negative 5. So, that is now our answer. So, easy lang ba? Makaya? Kung hindi po mag-mic, mag-kuan na lang po, mag-chat na lang po. Makaya po ba? Yes or no? Si Matthew lang estudyante ko, si Arula lang tatlo. So, example pa po. Sige, another example daw. So, try natin itong square root of 40. So, we have square root of 40 as our given. So, 40. Sunod ng 40, 41, 42, 43. Now, kung hindi nyo po alam kung asan kayo mag-stop, balik na lang kayo sa multiplication table. Punta kayo sa multiplication table. Tingnan nyo. So, 40. Merong 36. Kung makita po ninyo, may 36 at saka merong 49. Saglit lang ha, kopyahin ko para Makita na po ba? So, makita na ba? Okay, tingnan niyo yung 149. Square root of 40. Meron bang 40 dyan? Wala, di ba? So, ano yung between ng 40? 36 at saka 49. So, isulat nyo na lang diretso kung ayaw nyo maglista. Ganun lang po. So, kung ayaw nyo maglista, isulat nyo diretso. We have 49 at saka 36. Tama ba? 49 and 36. So, we have 49 and 36. Di ba yung 40 na sa gitna ng 36 at saka 49? So, yan lang po isusulat nyo. 36 and 49. So, ganun po. 36 and 49. Therefore, therefore nyo na agad. Therefore, or tatlong tuldok, square root of 40 is between square root of 36, which is equal to plus minus, sa 36, that is 6 times 6, that is 36. Ganun po. And sa 49 naman, 7 times 7 is equal to 49. Therefore, plus minus 7. Ganun lang po. Next, another example. Wala na, square root of 40. Next, this is not part of your lesson anymore for this week 5. Pero ituturo ko siya. Kasi, pag hindi ko to siya ituro, baka problema po kayo pagdating nyo ng grade 8. So, square root of 12. So, number 1. Simplify. Paano po natin yan siya? Parang lowest term yung simplify. So, square root of 12. Okay. Sa 12 po, ano po yung i-multiply nyo na ang sagot is 12?
6, sir.
6 at saka 2. Tama? Pero ang tanong ko, itong 6 ba perfect square? Itong 2 ba perfect square? Pag hindi po, alisin. Ano pa bang ibang number na pwede multiply para maging 12?
3.
3 at saka
4.
4. 3 times 4 is 12. Itong 3 ba perfect square? Hindi. Itong 4 ba perfect square? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
So, okay lang po na isa, kahit isa lang ang perfect square. So, yan na po yung sulat natin dito. Square root of 3 times, allow me to use this small symbol na nasa gitna, times as times 4. Then equals square root of 3 times square root of 4. Yan po. Nahiwalay na siya, di ba? Tama na, nahiwalay. Next. Isulat po si square root of 3 kasi wala po siyang sagot kanina sa multiplication table natin. Wala po siyang perfect square. Pero ang 4 meron. That is plus minus 2. Now, ito siya ngayon, wala po siyang radical, wala po siyang square root symbol. So kung wala siyang square root symbol, dapat nasa harap siya. Andito siya banda. So ilipat lang natin. So magiging plus minus 2, tapos square root of 3. Yan na po yung sagot. Again, mag-isip ng number sa 12 na ang sagot is perfect square ang isa. 6 times 2. 2 times 2 is 6 is 12, brother. Pero wala mang perfect square sa kanila. Hindi man perfect square ang 6. Hindi man perfect square ang 2. So mag-isip ka pa ng iba. 3 times 4. Ito. Ang 3 hindi pwede. Pero ang 4, perfect square. So yan na yun siyang ilalagay dito. 3 and 4. Then do not forget the symbol, multiplication, and radical sign. Tapos ihiwalay sila. Square root of 3 times square root of 4. Sa square root of 3, wala po siyang perfect square, so ma-remain lang siya na ganyan. Sa square root of 4, meron po. That is 2. So, lagyan na plus minus 2. So, lahat po ng plus minus 2 dapat nasa harap. So, ilipat siya. Plus minus 2 tapos square root of 3. Saan napunta si times? Si times pwede pong invisible, pwede pong hindi. Pero pag andito po siya sa taas, lagyan nyo na lang para makita nyo. Dito lang siya pwede hindi. Okay, next. Another example. Square root of 18. Sige daw, kayo daw. Kayo daw muna. Tignan natin kung ano sagot nyo. Sa 18, ano po yung numbers na dalawa?
9, sir.
9 at saka 9 at saka
4
ano?
po.
9, 4? 9, 4 ba? 9 at saka
Po,
2.
sir.
9 at saka 2. Sige na, go. Sulat nyo na siya, 9 and 2. Tingnan natin kung ano yung final answer nyo. Type nyo agad sa chat box kung meron ha. Meron na bang nakasagot? Uy, wala pang nakasagot. Ako na naman magsagot. Sige, I will help you. Square root of 9 at saka square root of 2, ihiwalay. Square root of 9 times square root of 2. So, si square root of 9, perfect square ba si square root of 9? Yes or no? That is yes. Sabi po ni Dem, it's plus minus 3. Tingnan natin. The square root of 9 is positive, negative, 3 times kopya si square root of 2. So, para alisin ang symbol na times, yung point, kopya na lang, square root of, mali. Plus minus 3, then square root of 2. Alisin na po yung symbol na dot. So, ganun po. The answer is 3 square root of 2. So, another example, ulitin ko na lang. Yung 18, ano po yung mga number na i-multiply kay 18? We have 9 and 2. Isusulat dyan, 9 and 2. Tapos i-multiply. Kasi 2 times 9 is 18. So, yan na po siya. 2 times 9, 18. So, iwalay. Square root of 9 times square root of 2. Si square root of 9, perfect square. Ilan po siya? 3 times 3. Kaya plus minus 3. Then, copy si square root of 2 kasi hindi pong perfect square si 2. So, ialisin na yung symbol na dot or times. Yan po yung sagot. Next given. We have square root of 40. Now, ano po ang mga numbers na pwede i-multiply sa 40?
20, sir.
20 at saka
10.
20 times 2. Tama? 20 times 2 is 40. Pero, may perfect square ba dyan sa 20 and 2? Kung balikan yung multiplication table. Wala, oh, wala. 20 is not. Si 2 din is not. Ano kaya?
10 times 40 po.
10 times 4.
10 times 4.
So, yun po. Si 10, hindi. Pero si 4, oo. Tama? So, yun na po yung lalagay dito. So, we have 10 times 4. Ihiwalay, square root of 10 times square root of 4. Square root of 10 cannot be, so square root of 10 lang. Si square root of 4, ilan po? Ilan po si square root of 4?
2 po.
2. We have 2. Sabi po ni Arola, 2 plus minus 2. So, lahat po ng plus minus kailangan nasa harap. So, ilalagay siya dyan. Plus minus 2, then square root of 10. And that is now our answer. And that is how to simplify radical numbers or to how to simplify numbers with radical. Ito po yung radical sign. Okay, let's have an activity, pero we will answer that one together. So, let us open your module number 7. So your module number 7 is not yet distributed, still on our hands. Ito po. Hanapin nyo po kung rational siya or irrational. Sige daw, you type your answer. Number 1. You type your answer in the chat box. Rational or irrational? Punta po kayo sa ating multiplication table. Tingnan nyo po, 49. Pag meron po dyan, ibig sabihin, rational. So, the answer is, sabi ni Arola, rational, Zid, Carl, Kimberly, Angel, Chester, the same answers. So, who else? Ayan, the same. Yan nga ba ay rational or hindi? For a while ha, naghang laptop. So, rational, rational, rational. Si number 1 po, rational. Kasi pag tiningnan po natin siya sa multiplication table, 49, ito po, meron po siyang 7 times 7. So, 7 is rational. So, 49 is rational. Square root of 49 is rational. Not about number 2. Square root of 3. Type your answer. Carl, Arola, Maria, irrational, irrational, Jan, irrational, Dim, Ayan. So, tingnan natin. Pearl, Chester, Angel, Zid, those are irrational. Very good. The answer is irrational. So next, number 3. Lagyan nyo ng number para hindi ako malito. Number 3 na, number 3. You put number, for example, 3, rational. Ganyan po. Para hindi ako malito. Ganyan. Matthew, Carl, Dim, Pearl, Zid, the same answers? Irrational. So square root of 50 is irrational. Tingnan po natin kung nasa chat, ay nasa kuan ba siya? 50. Wala po, 49 lang. Hindi umabot. 49 lamang, wala. So therefore, that is irrational. Next, number 4. Square root of 26. That is irrational. Next, number 5. Number 5. 81. Rational, rational. So all answers are rational. Si Jan, irrational daw. So the answer there is rational or rational. So mali po si Jan. Rational po. Nasa multiplication table po yan. Perfect square po is 81. And that is 9 times 9. Next is 6. Si 6 naman po. Rational. 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 Excuse me. Ano yan? Irrational, rational. Rational, ration. Wrong spelling na. Ayusin yung spelling. Si 6 po. The answer there is rational. Tama ba? 1 to 1. Tingnan natin yung multiplication table. 1 to 1. That is 11 times 11. So therefore, rational siya. Next, si 7 naman. Etong si 7, 25 over 64. May na, turuan ko muna kayo. 25 over 64. Square root of 25 over 64. So, 25 over 64. Isusulat po natin siya ng ganito. Square root of 25 over square root of 64. Isa-isahin po natin. Si 25, meron ba siyang perfect square or perfect square ba sa 25? Pag tingin natin sa multiplication table, yes. And that is 5 times 5, tama? So, ang sagot dyan, plus minus 5. Next, 64 naman. Meron ba siyang ka-perfect square sa multiplication table? Yes, meron po. 8 times 8. So, sulat plus minus 8. So, the answer here is plus minus 5 over 8. Ganun na po siya. And 5 over 8 is a fraction. And a fraction is a rational number. Yan po ang sagot. Rational number. So, you try example number 10. Example number 10. Number 10 po, number 10. Is that a rational number? You identify number 10 if it is rational or not. Si 6 ba? Si square root of 6 ba? Meron ba siyang perfect square? Si 21 ba? Meron ba siyang perfect square? Kung wala, irrational. Kung meron, rational. Arola, irrational. Same with Jan. Same with Matthew, Faye, Carl, Ayan, Angel, Pearl. Irrational din po sila lahat. Wala pong sumagot ng rational. Si Ayan din po irrational. Hala kayo, sure ba yan? Irrational? So, let's find out. The given is square root of 6 and 21. So, we have square root of 6 over 21. So, we have square root of 6 and square root of 21. Si square root of 6, wala siyang perfect square. So, the answer there is square root of 6. Square root of 6 over 21 pa din. So, wala siyang perfect square. So, since wala silang perfect square, that is irrational number. Yun lang po. Kapag wala po agad perfect square, sagot nyo na agad irrational. Kahit itong 6 lang, sa taas lang wala, so sagot nyo agad irrational. Is that clear? Next, yung 9. The number 9, 144, square root of 144. Number 9 daw. Number 9, 144. Rational po lahat. Wala pong sumagot ng irrational. And that is correct. Rational po dyan. That is 12 times 12, which is 144. Next, number 8. Number 8 naman. Irrational. Sabi po ni Jan.
Rational.
So, the answer there is irrational din po. Square root of 12. Ganun lang po kabilis. So, ganun lang po yung activities natin. Irrational at saka rational. Okay, next. Si 77, ito po, number 1. Yun po, number 1. Square root of 77. Anong between niya? It is between what? Square root of 77. Saan siya between? So, can you look at the table? Square root of 17, ay 77. 77 is between 64 and 81. And 64 is positive negative 8. So 81 naman, positive negative 9. So 8 and 9. So therefore, ang sagot dyan sa number 1, which is square root of 77, is square root of, number 1 tayo, square root of 77 is equal to, is between, therefore, square root of 77 is between square root of 64 and square root of 64, which is equal to plus negative 8, and square root of yun, 81, which is equal to positive negative 9. So, ganyan po ang pagsagot. So, therefore, square root of 77 is between square root of 64 is equal to plus negative 8, and square root of 81 is equal to plus minus 9. Now, pwede po ba sagutan ng walang plus minus? Considered po yan ngayon. Pag walang plus minus, considered po yan. So, dati po, hindi po talaga kailangan talaga lagyan ng plus minus. Pero nowadays, okay na po siya. Accepted po siya sa mathematics. Next, number 2. Square root of 87. Saan siya between? Saan between si square root of 87? Tingnan nyo sa inyong multiplication table. Square root of 87. I-type nyo sa chat box anong sagot. Kahit nung number na lang. Sabi po ni Pearl, 81 and 100. Ano po yan? 81 and 100, which is 9 and 10. Tama. Or 81 and 100. Very good. That is correct. 81 and 100. Pero dapat ang sagot nyo hindi 81 and 100. Ang sagot nyo, 81 is 9. Tama? 81 is 9 times 9. 100 is 10 times 10. So ang sagot dyan, 9 and 10. Yan po. 9 and 10. Hindi dapat 81 and 100. Between 9 and 10. Yan po dapat. Okay? Next. Itong square root of 50. Square root of 50. Tingnan natin sa table. 50. Between what number? 5 and 10? 5 and 10 nga ba? Si 50, ano po? Square root of 50. Tingnan nyo, square root of 50, andito siya banda, 49 and 64. Ano po yung number na yan? So, Carl is correct, 7 and 8. 49 is 7, square root of 49 is 7, and square root of 64 is 8. Si Carl is correct. So, next. Tingnan nyo lang dito sa table, yung 49, ay 50 di ba yung given? So, si 50 wala man. So, between siya dito ng 49 and 64. Look at si 49, 7. Si 64, 8. So, between 7 and 8 ang sagot. Okay, next. Next given is 136. 136. Go in the chat box, type your answer. 136. 11 and 12, sabi ni Carl. Matthew, 11 and 6. Ay, si Maria pala. Matthew, 11 and 12. Pearl, 11 and 12. Same with Fatima. That is 11 and 12. Angel, 11, 6. Si Dim, 11 and 12. So the answer there is 11 and 12. So 11 and 12. That's correct. Chester is correct. Dim is correct. So, ganun po. 11 and 12. Next. 243. Oh, ito na yung problema. 243. What if lumampas siya sa pinakadulo? 200, ano yun? 243. So what if ganyan na siya? Ano nang gagawin natin? So lalabas nyo ang calculator. Lalabas ang calculator. 243. So 243. Kunin ang square root. Square root ng 243. That is 15.58. So the number is between 15 at saka 16. Yun po yung sagot. That is between 15 and 16. Paano ko po ginawa si 16? At saka si 15. Si 15 ito po. Yan. Tapos, si 16, anong sunod ng 15? That is 16. Yan po yung sagot. Between 15 and 16. Ganun lamang po. Next, try now natin. Square root of 312. Saan siya between? So, kunin lang calculator. Square root symbol. Ito po ang square root symbol. Oh. Yan po, yan. Ito po. Ito. Yan. Makita. 2 square root of x. So, square root of, pinutin lang yan, 312. Sige daw, ano sagot nyo? Kung wala pong cellphone, 17 at saka 18. Sabi ni Matthew, sabi ni Carl, sabi ni John, Pearl. Tingnan natin, that is 17 at saka 18. Ganun lang po. Easy lang, no? Same with Fatima and Chester. What if mas malaki pa talaga? Between square root of 2,153. 2,153. What do you think? Tchadan! Between 46 and 47. Easy lang, no? So that ends our lesson for this week. So yes, tomorrow I will be giving an activity about this one, or the next day rather, because it's Wednesday tomorrow. So please submit your portfolio. Kasi doon ko po i-base talaga inyong mga scores at doon po nakasulat yung mga written activities. So sino pa po ang wala nakapasa ng week 1, 2, 3, 4, pasa na po. Kailangan nyo po ikulayan para maganda at saka malaki yung score ninyo. So, salamat po. Kasi ako po ang mahihirapan pag hindi kayo nagpasa. For example, wala kayong pinasa. Anong i-record ko sa scores nyo? Anong igagrado ko? Kailangan magbigay ako sa inyo ng 60. Kailangan magbigay ako ng 65. Ganun po. So, expected po, pag wala kayong pinasa, wala din po kayong scores. Kung wala po kayong scores, mababa po ang inyong grado. Ganun lamang po. So again, wala po tayong exam. Ang meron na po tayo quizzes or written work at saka performance task. Yung performance task nyo, yan yung portfolio. Pag wala kayong performance task, ano na lang igagrado ko? Parang ganun po. Tapos, yung notebook nyo pa talaga, doon pa talaga nakalagay ang iba nyong activities. So kung wala nyo napasa, wala kayong score. So mababa talaga ang grado nyo. So pag ganun po. So please pakipasa po. Kung pwede ngayong hapon po. So bye everyone. Thank you.
Bye po, sir.
Salamat po, sir.
Salamat, sir.
Salamat, sir.
Goodbye and thank you po, sir.